Let the games begin!
Oh, that's bad.
So bad. Welcome back to Boozy Builds.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Jack.
And we're here to
build models and rate them from -5, would never do again, to +5 being some Gundam awesome stuff. But we'll also be
drinking plenty of booze. -5 being stuff we would not drink again. +5 gracefully would down that drink.
Let's get into the unboxing.
Welcome to the stud-free 75mm assault gun. This is my first build. I'm just unboxing the box there. As you can see, it's a beautiful tank. So I'm just using a nice safe knife here to open up the packaging. And oh, that's a bit of plastic there. Bit more plastic. Bit more plastic. All these little sticks composed of all the components that we need to create our lovely tank. And there are the tracks at the top there, stuck together as one piece. And there's the manual. Enjoy those instructions. As you can see, they're quite complicated.
And this is the Churchill Mk.VII. Comes in a lovely box with an awesome graphic. Let's take it out and see what's inside. Okay, just taking out the model now. It comes with this pamphlet, which you don't need to know anything about, honestly. Those are only the instructions. They're probably not important. So let's whip it out and see what's inside. Okay, as you can see, there are lots of tiny parts on this, and it's going to cause me a lot of trouble in the upcoming video, but I'll explain all about that in a moment. I believe we're about to show you the amazing manual and some decals, which we're never going to use. Okay, and if you see there, there's lots of wheels, and we'll get more in depth on that. Okay, now let's get to the good bit.
In super fast.
Woo! First we got Sanatogen, and it's awful. So bad.
And then we have El Domador. That's alright.
Alright, let's get on track. So, the first part of my tank was cutting up these little tracks, and they come stuck together, and you just have to cut them in 2 little bits, but I slice them down the middle, super fast.
Really making a lot of work out of it.
Making a meal out of it. But then we get straight into the rest of the build. Now, for mine, I spent a lot of time on, as I said before, these tiny little wheels. And there are these 2 tiny wheels, and they can't be more than 3mm big. And they both attach together on this little suspension part. And I had to do that at least 25 times. And it was the worst. So if you don't see a lot of me building anything, it's because I'm doing that over and over and over again.
Also part of the fact that we only have one camera, and we were too drunk to bother with moving the actual shot. So prepare for a lot of what I do. I mean, I didn't have that many wheels. I literally just had the best time. I had 2 little circles I had to stick together. That was a wheel, and I just stuck it on the side.
I ended up using a lot of super glue.
A lot of super glue.
I tried to do it properly. I say properly. But yeah, I ended up using a lot of super glue because trying to hold all that together was a massive faff.
I would just like to put it out there right now that no one else should try this. I mean, modelling, yes, we're trying to promote modelling as a thing. It's a great fun thing to do. Just don't do drinking and modelling, because I didn't know that we would be playing with sharp knives, toxic glue, various other products that you just shouldn't be using.
You were quite surprised by how dangerous this could have potentially been.
Yeah, I turned up and I was like, this would be great. We're just going to have like these sweet models we're going to build. And then the first thing you do is pass me a box and it's full of knives. I was like, fuck.
I got you a gift. Yeah, I thought Dave's going to start getting into models, making stuff. I'll get him his own little set of knives, files and things, and your first thought was surprise. Oh, this might actually be a bit more dangerous than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, you never brought it up the fact that you had no fear. You were just like, yeah, this is going to be a great idea. Knives, drinking, cutting up some plastic. I'm sitting there going, oh, sweet, we'll just be like doing Legos. It's going to be so awesome just to stick some things together. That'll be it. This is excellent.
I hoped it was going to be like that, and then we took them out of the box, and I looked at the instructions, and soon realised it was not going to be as simple as I thought it was going to be, and mine turned out to be a massive headache. And not far into it, I started not enjoying making the Churchill tank. There were these little wheels, and they were so repetitive, and it got to the point where I could see you making some real progress, and I was pretty jealous.
I was in the zone. This is my first model, and I just point out I've never made any before, and so I started this with such intent to do it right, and I actually had a lot of fun. And every part of it, I was taking it so seriously, down to when you cut off the plastic, off the weird plastic stems, you always get like a little knobble that's not part of the actual piece, and then you've got to use the nail filer, not just to do your nails and have a fancy look, but to then shave off that extra bit and then polish it off the polish side. And I didn't even need instructions. I was like, I don't know what this is for. And I was just going on it and just making such a good job.
I mean, I started with that because I've got some experience making models, and I wanted to obviously be way better than you at it. And then I soon realised that was a massive mistake, and there are so many tiny parts that I just need to smash through it.
Yeah, they did get to a point where I was so happy I chose the tank I did. And it wasn't out of any experience or knowledge. I just went, I like that tank.
So for a bit of backstory, I bought 2 of the cheapest models that you could find on Amazon. And, well, they were tanks. So I thought I'd get 2 different ones. And then, just before we start the video, we'll choose whichever one we like.
Yeah.
And then go from there. And because they were only, I think they were less than £6 each, I did not have any expectation for this to be actually difficult at all.
Yeah, you thought it would be, just 4 sides of a tank. Get the back, get the sides, get the front, smash them together. Easy build. Dave would love it. He's a simpleton. Oh, how wrong you were.
I was so wrong. I thought, bit of drinking, bit of model making, this is going to be easy. We'll have done this in 20 minutes. About 4 hours later, Dave fell asleep after he finished his model, and I was still there.
Oh, yes. And so, to give context as well, whilst we're doing this, we had already started drinking Sanatogen, properly pronounced Sanatogen, and that still may not be correct to this day.
There are
we
various
don't know.
pronunciations online, and I don't think anyone's 100% certain on it.
Nope.
But we are 100% against it as a wine.
It's a garbage wine.
It's all. It tastes like drinking straight Vimto
/ Ribena.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, drinking that with an alcoholic content. It's hard.
It's the only wine we've seen that's been referenced as tonic wine.
Yeah, but it also mentions on the bottle that it has no medicinal purposes, which...
Quite explicitly, like...
I'm not sure why they need to mention that on a bottle of wine.
Apparently, if it's tonic wine, it should have medicinal properties, because it says, although this is a tonic wine, it has no... Actually, no, we got the bottle here.
Okay, so next time...
The name tonic wine does not imply health-giving or medicinal properties.
So we need to get some actual health-giving
tonic wine, which might just taste like fucking garbage and won't be alcoholic at all.
But we did also have the El Domador white wine. And
yes.
that was not bad.
It's pretty good.
We're drinking now and drinking more
Yep.
of it.
Yeah, top up for you.
Well, thank you very much. Now this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as though the idea of this entire series will be is that, as you see, we are building the cheapest models that Jack could find, although not as easy as we'd have liked, and also the cheapest alcohol we could find on shelf. And then for this episode, that choice was
not as nice as I would have liked.
I mean, we went for wine as the option.
Yeah. So we're probably going to mix it up and next time get the cheapest of something else.
Yeah.
I mean, model-wise, we're going to get
categories.
We're going to go for a different style, but we'll also do that for alcohol as well.
Yeah. And future episodes will show an increased amount of focus on the model building itself by hand, up close, with extra cameras. Also, you guys watching, which is probably only one or two of you, so if it is just one or two of you, obviously we want more, but you'll be donating money. So, you know, the two that do watch, if you could give us like about £500 each, it'll go a long way, and we can get better cameras, more of them, maybe some bigger models.
Yeah, so the idea is this is basically just a test, sort of pilot episode.
It's a pilot.
With the cheapest of everything, and then depending on how far we get, and if we like it, obviously we'll keep going. And
I mean, if we love it.
Oh,
this is great. You'll get the best content.
Well, I mean, the real question is, does anybody care? And then, and then it will be, okay, let's get like some more camera angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, over the shoulder,
Yeah.
from above, through a glass table from underneath. Oh,
That's a good
yeah.
So right now in the video, Dave is just sticking everything together.
Oh God, I'm nearly finished.
And you've got the tank tracks there. And one other thing to note about, see, I've still got main bits of the body on the table.
You've got whole chunks.
And there's Dave chilling out. And on mine, the tank tracks as well. Could not stick them together with glue, or in the manual it recommends that you heat them together.
With fire. Not heat,
yeah.
with fire.
It's got a little flame symbol next to the tracks to stick them together. Could not make that work. Spent a lot of time faffing about with that as well. Overall, I would not recommend ever making the Churchill, is it the Churchill 8? The Churchill 7 tank. It was not fun. But it was great, just to start something.
I'd say the stud was very good, and like overall really fun, and getting the tracks on, like if you just got enough glue on it, there was no instructions on mine that said set your shit on fire, hope to God it works. It was just put a bit of glue on, it kind of just slotted on nicely. The only problem I had, and you'll see after I start putting the last track on, actually no, I've already put the thing together. The whole idea was like, it was like sticking the top onto the body, and it just kept arcing back off, so I just had to hold it. That's when I was resting back with my feet up. That was a whole moment of just holding it for like
claw grip on the whole
what looks like seconds was years for me. Yes.
Yeah. So the other thing is obviously the video is sped up a lot. We were there for hours.
Yeah. For context, we were there for 4 hours. This is a 4-hour clip, crushed down to 18 minutes. Less than that. It's probably
less than that. It's much less than that. Although, because I did just sort of give up towards the end and then just cover my tank in glue and then just sort of hold it together, it does kind of look like there's a bit of an Arctic effect. It looks kind of...
Oh, and here we go. So
Yeah.
I've just finished my tank now, and I am ready to just watch Jack via the camera, as we have a monitor in the background, just to enjoy the view. He's already given up on the tracks.
Oh, massively given up and thrown far across to the other side of the room. So that's definitely not going to happen. And even these little bits are so fiddly. There's a bit on the turret, these little doors that you put on, and I dropped those so many times. They're so small.
You didn't say a flip or a shit or like anything bad. You were in silence, but it was an atmospheric like
The level
hate
of frustration
and frustration
in there.
I didn't say a word.
It was unreal. You just sort of leaned back and were like, okay, I'm just going to let this play out. But I had to finish it though.
At this point, I think I'm asleep.
Yeah, you do fall asleep, but I had to finish it. I was so determined. You finished yours, so there's no way I wasn't going to finish mine. And that's me waking you up to tell you that I'd done. That was the build. Now onto the booze. First up, Sanatogen.
Now, this is the drink we were drinking whilst we did the builds. Now, we're going to drink it again, just for you, with the Sanatogen review.
Let's do it.
Smell? Verdict?
Ribena.
Just smells like Ribena.
Pure, out the bottle.
Terrible.
I mean, fine, unless you were going to drink it straight. It goes around.
And it goes round, and we've got what they call the legs. We know this, we're connoisseurs.
Yeah.
That's good legs. Yeah.
It's got those.
Just terrible legs, but yeah.
So let's just drink it.
Down it goes. Alright, Jack, what's your opinion out of a Mini 5 and a Max 5?
It is like drinking straight Ribena, and I would give it -3 out of Mini 5.
That's what I'm going for!
Yeah!
Boom!
Nice!
Your reasons?
Because it's awful. I mean, I would drink it if I was totally desperate and there was nothing else in the world. I guess I'm going to have to drink that because that's it.
Sounds almost -5.
But
There's a bit.
But it's kind of sweet. If you could mix it with something else, then maybe it wouldn't be as terrible. There might be some saving of this wine. It might be salvageable. There might be some other cocktail that you could do with it that makes it not.
And it would taste bad.
It's so intense.
I personally, as I said, I get -3 as well out of the Mini 5 Max 5 table. And my reason behind that is it tastes fantastic. I say, well, that's a steep shout.
I mean, for the first half a second.
Yeah. It's fruity, it's sweet, it's very porty, it's kind of nice. And at first. And then just as we found out on the night, the more you drink it, the worse it gets. And it's not sour. It's just bad.
Well, it's incredibly sweet. And for me, I thought that the more you drank it, the better it would get because you get drunk.
Yeah.
But no, you just get drunk and it's still awful. It doesn't get any better. It is just constantly that level of unwatered down.
Yeah, you just got worse.
Intense. Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's a terrible drink. Obviously not a -5 or a -4, but if it was -5, we probably wouldn't even drink
Probably
it.
would have given up after the first glass.
So now we'll move on to the Domador.
Let's get on that.
Now, for the El Domador.
So this is what we were drinking on the second part of the build. So now it's time for us to give you the El Domador review.
Drink it. Sniff it.
Smells like white wine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't smell like a good white wine. It smells... okay.
Honestly, I wouldn't know.
No.
Still looks like wine.
The legs look silkier than the Sanatogen.
Sanatogen was kind of thick.
It was very thick, yeah. It just looks a bit smoother. I again, would have no context.
Don't know what it means.
Not real connoisseurs.
Drink it. Okay, pretty good. What do you think?
On the scale of white wines I've drank already, again not connoisseur, I'd give it a +1.
I'd give it a 0 because I'm not a big fan of white wine, but it wasn't terrible.
Are you telling me that everyone, any white wine, it's going to be a 0?
It's hard to gauge white wine if you're not really that interested. I mean, it's fine. It's just fine.
It's not particularly
There's
fruity.
nothing wrong with it.
It's like very, what's the term for the £3 wine? Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much that. There's nothing to it. It drinks nicely though. I don't sit there and go,
I'm not having a terrible time. It's
yeah.
easy to drink. Yeah. So it's just alright. I don't feel strongly either way.
Yeah. So, yeah, averaging at a 0.5 plus.
There we go. That was El Domador. 0.5 plus.
Better than Sanatogen.
Way better.
Price wise, the Sanatogen was coming in at a hot £4. It might have been 5. At this point, we don't remember. And the Domador was £7. That was still the cheapest, but we did go to fancy wancy Sainsbury's.
Cheapest.
The cheapest by Sainsbury's standards.
Alright.
And now for the ending.
Well, no, because we haven't reviewed the models or done any of that part yet. Dave?
Now for the tank review. Jack, on
Dave.
a scale of the Mini 5 Max 5, how would you rate your tank experience?
-4.
That's a low score. Care to divulge?
Yeah, so because of the massive amount of time that I spent putting the tiny wheels together, that's why I would rate it so poorly. Because for a super cheap model, I thought it was going to be way simpler than that, and it was a massive pain in the ass. I did not have a good time, and I used a lot of super glue in the end just to squish it all together to make it happen. How did yours go?
Glad you asked. I would give mine a +1. It was my first build. I enjoyed it a lot. I took a lot of time. I would not give it any higher just because I expect there's a lot easier and more fun builds to do, but +1 seems quite generous. Slightly biased on the account of it being the first one, but I had a good time.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure.
Like and subscribe.
Down below. Enjoy the end.
See you next time.
Until then,
Drink up.
and boozy bills. It's the credits time. We're going through the credits. Oh yeah, what a great series. You're gonna come back and watch some more. It's the credits. You loved the show. You absolutely loved it. Watch it more. Come back again next month, maybe 2. We're really shit at this, so it might take a while, but here's the credits in the meantime. It was the best show. Oh, it's the best. The best credits ever. Best credits ever.